Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first show of On the Level. I'm your host, Brother Gabriel Aguirre. This show will deal with Freemasonry and how it affects our local communities. The way it affects them is by having different programs to help those communities, everything from scholarships to food banks, personal and professional development, and much, much more. In today's episode, we will be interviewing Brother Jon Dershowitz and his wife, Ruth, who are heavily involved in a scholarship back in 2016 here at Theodore Roosevelt Lodge number 219 in Carteret, New Jersey. So Jonathan, let's jump to you. What was your intro into Freemasonry? Why did you become a Mason? And how was this experience involved in the scholarship?
Yeah, so I became a Mason about 9 years ago. And when I moved to Carteret, married my wife, it was a very small town feeling. I grew up in New York City, over 8 million people. We didn't really know each other. You knew, one or two people as you walked down the road every day. Here, complete opposite. Whenever I walked around, I was either known as Mrs. Weissman's husband or Rhoda and Joel Weissman's, my in-laws' son-in-law. No one knew my name. No one actually knew my wife's last name. And it was frustrating. So my father-in-law, Joel, was a Mason. My mother-in-law, Rhoda, said, go with him, see what it's like. Went with him, met some people, and I can now say that thanks to Freemasonry, I have some of the closest relationships and closest friends I've ever had. And I'm very grateful for that. The scholarship started off actually the end of your year as Worshipful Master, where you said the one thing I regret we didn't do was put together a scholarship program. And I said, why couldn't we? We had a couple months left. I called my wife, Ruth, who's been a teacher at the high school for over 15 years, and she introduced us to the principal. The principal was on board. They came for our first scholarship here in the lodge. I think the first scholarship was maybe $50 a student, just to kind of start the program, get them in the door. And now today, all these years later, we're at over $1,000 a student every year.
So Ruth, how do you think the scholarship has impacted the high school?
I think it's impacted the school very positively. This gives our students an opportunity to maybe purchase a new computer, money towards books, money towards things that they wouldn't normally have, because college is expensive for any student. I know it was expensive for me, and for a lot of my students, they have to juggle whether or not they can afford to go to college, and this gives them the extra boost that they need for all the hard work that they've done throughout their 4 years at CHS.
So Jonathan, how do you think the scholarship has affected your experience as a Freemason?
I think it helped do what I wanted to accomplish in Freemasonry, and that's being part of the community in my own way. And my family's always been involved in doing good deeds, charity work, that kind of stuff. So it was great to really have what I've learned in the lodge as Freemasonry and use it outside in the world and be a part of our community by giving back to the community that this lodge has been a part of for over 100 years.
So any final thoughts on the scholarship and everything?
I think it's a great opportunity for my students to get to know a fraternity that is, for all intents and purposes, cloaked in secrecy. I mean, for me, it's not, because it's my daily life. You get more of my husband than I do sometimes. But it's a great opportunity for my kids. And like I said before, every student in that building, whether or not they know me by name, knows me by reputation, and knows that I am like their school mom. So if I could give to my kids, I give to my kids.
Okay, Jonathan, so it's open floor for you. Anything else you'd like to say?
Just that I always believed that Freemasonry should be an impact in the world outside of our lodge room, and I think this is one of those great ways of doing it. I love giving back to our community that we've been a part of for over 100 years. I love the fact that people can come into this room and really see what we do and see what we're a part of, at least what they can see. And I love the fact that I can do this with my wife and have her a part of this little piece of our world of Freemasonry. I think it's great.
Great. So Jonathan, Ruth, I want to thank you guys for the help with the scholarship back in 2016. I mean, I know it was an idea I threw up there when I was master of the lodge, but really without your efforts and you as really the unsung hero of the whole program, it would never have happened. So really, I think you guys deserve much more credit than you've been given over the years. It's a good program. I'm glad we were able to do it. And I'm looking forward to working with you to make it bigger and better and easier for the students to apply. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone again for tuning into this episode of On the Level, where we discussed the scholarship here at Theodore Roosevelt Lodge. In our next episode, we'll be sitting down with Mom Patty and the union chapter of DMLA. It's a Masonic youth group for boys and the programs that they've had for their youths. So to my brothers, thank you for tuning in and spread more light.